Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. So we will begin the 8th chapter of Madhya Lila of Sri Caitanya-caritamrita. It's a very, very nectarian chapter and very deep chapter. I think we'll spend sufficient time on this chapter today. At least more than 50% of our session will spend on this chapter itself. So in the 7th chapter of Caitanya-caritamrita, we have seen Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu beginning his South India tour. And initially he went to Kurma Brahmana's house. First he went to Alalnath and then chanted and danced there, and then later he went to Kurma Brahmana's house and then he delivered him, and later he went to he delivered Vasudeva leper, and finally he comes to the bank of Godavari in this 8th chapter. So today we will see Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu's conversation with Ramananda and later Mahaprabhu's entire South India tour, and then he's coming back to Jagannath Puri. Let's try to complete entire South India tour that Mahaprabhu did for 2 years in 1.5 hours. So now Kaviraj Goswami begins this chapter with this shloka. Sancharya Rama Bhida Bhakta Meghe Swabhakti Siddhanta Chayamritani Gaurabdhiretair Amunavatirnaihi Tajnatva Ratnalayatam Prayati Sancharya Rama Bhida Bhakta Meghe. So Ramananda is compared with a Megha. Megha means cloud. His Bhakta Megha, this devotee, is compared to a cloud. Swabhakti Siddhanta Chayamritani. And this cloud is showering Bhakti Siddhantas, the conclusive truths of devotional service. Where Gaurabdhiretair, Gaura means Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu is compared with Abdhi, an ocean. Amunavatirnaha tadgnatva ratna layatam prayati. So a cloud gets water from the ocean, and cloud may rain the water back on the ocean. Similarly, Ramananda is acting like a Bhakta Megha, cloud, and getting all the knowledge of conclusive truths of devotional service from Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, who is like the ocean, and is speaking all of them to him only back. That's the comparison given here. So Mahaprabhu is ocean and Ramananda is cloud, and the Bhakti Siddhantas are the rain or the water. So now Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu continued his South India Yatra, and he went to Jiyada Narasimha temple, and he also offered prayers and chanted and danced. There is this nice shloka that comes there. Ugropyanugra evayam swabhaktanam nrikeshari keshariva swapotanam anyesham ugra vikramaha. Okay. So he offered prayers to Narasimha Dev, and then he also received some Mahaprasad garlands and other things from the Pujari there, and he continued his yatra. So he went on the bank of Godavari, and when Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu went on the bank of Godavari, he saw all the trees there, and he remembered Vrindavan, and seeing Godavari, he remembered Yamuna. So Mahaprabhu was absorbed in his ecstatic consciousness, and he took bath in Godavari and then sat under a tree on the bank of Godavari. So at that time, he sees Ramananda. Ramananda, being a government servant, he arrives there. He comes there on a palanquin, and he was also surrounded by several servants and also some Brahmanas. Vedic Brahmanas were chanting some mantras. So the Lord recognized Ramananda. And Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya already told this Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu that when you go to the bank of Godavari, when you go to Vidyanagar, please meet Ramananda. So Mahaprabhu remembered, oh, this is that Ramananda that Sarabham Bhattacharya was talking about yesterday, I mean, a few days back. So he remembered, he recognized immediately. So Ramananda also was like surrounded by so many people and some musical instruments were being played. So he also saw Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu and came there. And he recognized this effulgent personality. He was so effulgent. So Ramananda came there and offered obeisances to Lord Caitanya. Actually, Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu is a combination of Radha and Krishna, and Ramananda is an incarnation of Vishakha Devi. So naturally, there is love and affection between them. So the natural love between Lord Caitanya and Ramananda got invoked, and they both were shedding tears of love. They embraced each other, and they were overwhelmed with ecstatic symptoms. So here is Ramananda, who is a Rajasevi, apparently a Vishayi and a Shudra. So he's a government officer, he is involved in some material affairs, and he is a Shudra, means a low born. But still, as soon as he saw Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, who is a Brahmana, who is a sannyasi, who is so effulgent, he embraced him, and Mahaprabhu also embraced him. And they were absorbed in their own ecstasy. And some stereotyped Brahmanas who were nearby, they saw this scene and they felt very surprised, astonished. How come this sannyasi is getting so much of ecstasy by seeing this government officer? How come they are touching each other? So they could not understand these ecstatic symptoms, feelings. So Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu noticed that, oh, these people cannot understand what we are going through. So he restrained his feelings, he controlled his emotions. And Ramananda also understood, and he also controlled his emotions. So in this context, Prabhupada says that there is Swajatiya and Vijati. So Swajati means people who are of similar nature, similar spiritual inclinations. So, but people who do not have such appreciation for spiritual activities and spiritual interactions, they cannot appreciate the dealings of Lord Caitanya and Ramananda. So in front of them, why to exhibit, right? This kind of ecstatic symptoms. So Mahaprabhu restrained himself. Okay. So now it takes one to know one. In the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is this incident that happened between Vidura and Uddhava. So Uddhava was going to Badrikashram, and Vidura, during his travels, he met Uddhava there. Then Vidura asked so many questions about Krishna and about Yadus and their relatives. And hearing all these questions, Uddhava went into ecstasy. He just closed his eyes and then he started meditating on Krishna. He was remembering Krishna for one muhurta, means 48 minutes. Now I ask a question to someone, and that person closes his eyes, and 48 minutes he doesn't speak only. Like, I may get bored, I may think that he doesn't know the answer, or he may be sleeping, and I may clear the place. I may not have the patience to sit there. But Vidura could understand that Uddhava closed his eyes out of ecstasy. He was remembering Krishna. He was absorbed in meditation on Krishna. So, because Prabhupada says, because Vidura is also a very exalted devotee of Krishna, he could understand the exalted nature of Uddhava's devotion. So, devotees can appreciate an element of devotional service, element of bhakti yoga, only to the degree they have certain spiritual depth, spiritual understanding. So a naive person, a neophyte person cannot appreciate what an exalted person is going through. Some devotee may have great missionary spirit, and day and night he's working, he's doing a lot of hard work to spread Prabhupada's mission. Other people might think that, oh, he's passionate, he's not taking care properly, he's impersonal, this and that. They may comment on that person, but that devotee can only understand the missionary spirit. There is this saying, Vidvaneva Vijaniyam Vidvajana Parishramam. Only a scholar can understand another scholar's endeavors and moods. A naive person cannot understand. Similarly, here we see that other Brahmanas could not understand the transcendental emotions, and that's why Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu just controlled his emotions. So then Ramananda Rai and Mahaprabhu started speaking. So Ramananda Rai, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that I have come here just to see you. You are a great devotee. Sarvam Bhattacharya already told me that you are a great devotee, and he specifically requested me to meet you. So then Ramananda Rai said that Sarvam Bhattacharya is my well-wisher. Even in my absence also, he is always remembering me. Although I am lowly, he is always kind to me. So thank you, my dear Lord, you have come here to meet me. So then he says this beautiful shloka. Amanistarite tomara ihagaman parama dayalu tumi patita pavan. So Amanistarite tomara ihagaman. Only for my deliverance you have come here. Your arrival is meant for my deliverance. Parama dayalu tumi patita pavan. You are extremely compassionate and you purify fallen people. So Ramananda Rai appreciated Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, glorified him, and then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also glorified Ramananda Rai. I have heard that you are a great Vaishnava. That's why I have come here to take your association and purify myself. I am a Mayavadi. What do I know? But you are a great Vaishnava, so I want to associate with you. Then at that time, some Vaishnava Brahmana came there and invited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for meals. So Mahaprabhu did not stay in the house of Ramananda Rai, but he stayed in another Brahmana's house. But Mahaprabhu met Ramananda Rai regularly. For about 10 days, Mahaprabhu stayed there in that area, Vidyanagar, and daily he would meet Ramananda Rai in the night at a secluded place. Okay. Then there are very confidential discussions about Radha and Krishna. So now Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discussed about Radha and Krishna with Ramananda Rai. And when he met Prakashananda Saraswati, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, he was discussing philosophy about the Lord's energies, Bhagavad Gita, and defeating Mayavad and defeating Shankaracharya's explanations on Vedanta Sutra, all that he was discussing with them. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Rup Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, he was giving teachings of Bhakti Yoga. He was giving teachings of sadhana Bhakti, different rasas. He's speaking Bhakti Tattva, Rasa Tattva, Krishna Tattva, all that he was speaking to them. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met common people, he was distributing holy name, because they cannot get into philosophical discussions, and they cannot get into the science of bhakti, and they cannot discuss great deep philosophy also. So to such common people, Mahaprabhu is just giving holy name and making them dance and chant. So Mahaprabhu did not give Krishna consciousness to everybody in a similar manner. So he understood what they can take, and accordingly he reciprocated with them. Okay. Similarly, when we are trying to distribute Krishna consciousness to different categories of people, we need to also try to identify the right approach, what will work with them. How do I present Krishna consciousness to them? So children need certain approach, and elders need certain approach, youth needs certain approach, and like that one needs to present Krishna consciousness accordingly. Of course, not everybody can do everything, so we need to understand one's own bandwidth also. So now we see that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met this Ramananda Rai in the night, and they had a discussion. So through questions and answers, there was very deep philosophical discussion going on. Not philosophical, rasic discussion. You can say rasic. There's some philosophy in the beginning. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Rai, my dear Ramananda Rai, can you speak about the highest sadhya, the highest attainable goal for human life, the highest perfection of human life? What is that sadhya? So Ramananda Rai first said, Swadharmacharan, means we have to follow one's own dharma. Okay, so that's the first proposal that he has given. Basically, Swadharmacharan indicates Varnashrama dharma. Okay, one belongs to certain varna or certain ashrama in the Vedic society. One has to meticulously follow the rules and regulations of that particular varna or ashrama. That's what he said. Mahaprabhu said, Eho Bahya. Okay, this varnashram is not transcendental. It refers to three modes. It's within the purview of three modes. So because one acts according to one's particular tendency there, there is no devotion, there's nothing, there's not much spiritual there. Okay, so I will not accept this as an answer. This cannot be the highest attainable goal. Of course, it can, Varnashrama can provide a framework for the human beings to practice their activities, but it cannot be accepted as a highest sadhya. So then Ramananda said, okay, Krishna karmarpana. Krishna karmarpana means offering one's activities to Lord Krishna. Means you do your activities and then offer the results to Krishna. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. So you need to offer all the results of one's activities to Krishna. And Mahaprabhu said, Yahobahya. Okay. Although one is offering results to Krishna and one recognizes that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, still the activities that he is doing are on a material platform. So, Yahobahya. Then Ramananda said, okay, fine. So, Dharma Tyaga. So, Dharma Tyaga means renouncing one's occupational duties, prescribed activities. Okay. Then he said, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Moksha Yishyami Ma Shuchaha. So Ramananda, while he is giving an answer, he is substantiating that answer by quoting some shloka from some scripture, either Vishnu Purana or some Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, he quoted Sarva Dharman Parityajya. Earlier he quoted Yatkaroshi Dashnasi. Previous to that he quotes Varnashramacharya, some Vishnu Purana shloka. So Ramananda is substantiating his answers with shloka also. But while studying these shlokas, we need to see, we cannot take the highest devotional import of this shloka. Sarva Dharman Parityajya. My God, that's like pure devotional service in one sense, right? From if you take from that perspective. But here, he's only taking that meaning. Sarva Dharman Parityajya here is giving up Varnashrama. Okay, so that is the highest. Okay, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja is not taking so much. So now even Prabhupada also, in some context, he quotes some shloka. Even Kaviraj Goswami Caitanya-caritamrita also, in some context, he may quote some shloka. A part of that shloka is relevant in that context. So we need to take it like that. Otherwise, Mahaprabhu's Yahobahya doesn't make sense. If you take the highest devotional meaning of Sarva Dharman Parityajya, then we may not understand why Mahaprabhu says Yahobahya. This is external. Okay, go ahead. This is all material. Go ahead. So now, next. Mahaprabhu says Sadharma Tyaga is also external. Then Ramananda proposes Jnana Mishra Bhakti, means performing devotional service with some tinge of knowledge there. Okay, so then he says Brahma Bhutaha Prasannatma Nashochati Nakanshati Samaha Sarveshu Bhuteshu Madbhaktim Labhate Param. So one needs to perform devotional service with knowledge. And by this, one will come to Madbhakti Labhate Param. One will get Bhakti. So Mahaprabhu said Yahobahya. This is also external. They are saying Jnana Mishra Bhakti. No, not Mishra. Mahaprabhu said Yahobahya. Then Ramananda proposed Jnana Shunya Bhakti. So perform Bhakti without any tinges of this philosophical speculation or empiric analysis. Okay. So he quotes this shloka. Jnane prayasamudapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartaha sthane sthitaha shrutigatam tanuvan manobhir ye prayaso jito pyasita lokyam. Very important shloka from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam by Lord Brahma's prayers. Jnane prayasamudapasya. Give up your speculative endeavors to cultivate jnana. Jnane prayasamudapasya. Namanta eva. Go and offer obeisances to devotees. Jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartaha. So go and submit to devotees and hear Krishna Katha from those devotees. Jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartaha. Sthane sthitaha. You can continue in your sthana. Sthana here refers, sthana sthita refers to doing one's varnashram duties. Varnashram is said Yahobahya earlier, but again it's brought here. Sthana sthita means if you are a Brahmana, do the duties of Brahmana. If you are a Kshatriya, do the duties of Kshatriya. If you are a Brahmachari, continue with activities. And if you are a grahastha, take care of your responsibilities, take care of your responsibilities. So sthane sthitaha, there's nothing wrong there. But Shrutigatam tanuvan manobhir, give your ears to Krishna's devotees. Let them speak Krishna Katha and engage your ears in hearing that Krishna Katha. Sthane sthitaha Shrutigatam tanuvan manobhir. Engage your body, mind and words in Krishna's service by taking teachings from devotees. Sthane sthitaha Shrutigatam tanuvan manobhir ye prayaso jita jitopyasita istrilokyam. By this, you can even conquer the unconquerable Krishna. Right? So Mahaprabhu said, yes, Yehohai, this is very nice. Okay. So this is the basic principle of perfection. One has to submit to a pure devotee and dedicate one's body, mind, and words in Krishna's service. Right? So Yehohai, I accept this. Very good. But there is something higher than this. Right? So this is not Bahya. This is very good. Excellent. But there is something more than this. So please speak. What is that? Then he says, Prima Bhakti. One has to perform devotional service unto Krishna with love by following the prescribed rules and regulations in the scriptures. This is called Vaidhi Marga. This Bhakti is Vaidhi Bhakti, where one aligns oneself to the rules and regulations of the scriptures. So Mahaprabhu says, okay, this is very good, excellent. And our Ramananda also quotes some shloka from Padhyavali, and he says that one has to perform devotional service in accordance to regulative principles of scriptures and taught by Guru, and one has to do it with faith. Okay, Mahaprabhu says, yes, this is very good, no problem. Huh? But there's something more than this. Then he says, okay, Prema Bhakti in Raga Marga. So higher than this Vaidhi Bhakti is to perform devotional service with spontaneous love and affection. Because in Vaidhi Marga, one does not have a natural attraction towards the Lord. He does service only because scriptures are recommending, and he knows intellectually, at least he is convinced that it is good for him. But there is something higher, that is Raga Bhakti. So Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Matihi. So unless there is an intimate relationship between the Lord and the devotee, with a spontaneous attraction and intense greed to render service to Krishna, it is not just simply rendering service to Krishna according to some rules and regulations. It's not very appealing to Krishna. When we discussed it in the other Lila also, Krishna says, Vidhi Bhakti is not appealing to me. One has to do Bhakti spontaneously, voluntarily. So then there's something higher than this. Mahaprabhu says, oh, this is good, but there's something more than this. Then he says, okay, rendering service to Krishna in the mood of a servant, Dasya Prema, is higher than this. Okay, so Dasya Prema is very exalted. Then he says that there is this shloka about Dasya Prema, that is Dasya Prema is the rendering service to Krishna with in the mood of a servant. Bhavantamevanucharam nirantara prashanta nishesha manorathantara tadahamaikantika nitya kinkara praharshayishyami sanatha jeevitam. Bhavantamevanucharam nirantara prashanta nishesha manorathantara means a devotee who is engaged in servitude to Krishna. He is constantly in the mood of being a servant of Krishna, and nirantara means constantly. Bhavantam evanucharam nirantara prashanta nishesha manorathantara. Prashanta means very peaceful, and nishesha manorathantara means nishesha means zero. Sasesha means there is some reminder. Okay, now in some say you are writing an article, right, and next part of the article is continued in the next issue. Then you say sasesha. But there is nishesha means there is no sesha, there is no balance. Nishesha manorathantara. Manoratha means one's material desires, mental concoctions. Nishesha means they have become zero. So a pure devotee who is rendering service to Krishna in the mode of a servant has zero material desires. There's absolutely a selfless attitude, unmotivated bhakti here. Prashanta nihishesha manorathantara. Kada hamaikartika nitya kinkara. Again, he says, I want to be constantly your devotee. So that kind of dasya prema is higher than this raganuga bhakti. Of course, the raganuga bhakti only can be done in all these flavors, right? In all these flavors, dasya prema is the first proposal given by Ramananda. So Mahaprabhu says, it's very good. This is very good. But a servant is afraid of the master sometimes. He's very respectful, very reverential, very formal. Is there anything higher than this? Then Ramananda said, Sakshya Prema is higher. Means rendering service to Krishna like a friend is higher. And he immediately quotes the Vrindavan Sloka. Itham satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena maya shritanam naradarakena shakam vijahruh krita punya punjaha. He says that, okay, I'll not elaborate the meaning of the shloka, but one thing is, all the devotees who have this Saksha Prema, especially the Gopas in Vrindavan, they consider Krishna as their friend. While many other spiritualists consider Krishna as a worshipable deity, some even ridicule him, right? Some people may think that he is an ordinary child, but all the Sakya Bhaktas, the Gopas of Vrindavan, they serve Krishna in the mood of being a friend of Krishna. And Krita Punya Punjaha, Shakam Vijahruh Krita Punya Punjaha, they must have done unlimited heaps of pious activities. And this is not material piety. So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur clarifies that heaps of pious activities here means so many activities that are pleasing to Krishna. Okay, they have done so many activities that are pleasing to Krishna. That's why they got this opportunity to play with Krishna. All the Gopas and Krishna would jump like frogs along with frogs. They will fly like birds along with birds, and they will go in front of a well and then speak bad words, and the resound of that bad words will come from the well. So like that, they play with Krishna always. They imitate peacocks, they imitate monkeys, they swing on swings. So like that, the Sakya Bhaktas are higher. Then Mahaprabhu said, oh, Uttam, this is excellent, this is amazing, but there is something higher than this. Then Ramananda says there is Vatsalya Prema. Vatsalya Prema is higher than Sakya Prema. Vatsalya Prema means to love Krishna and to serve Krishna in the mode of being a parent. And Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda are the best examples. Nanda Hakima Karod Brahman Shreya Evam Mahodayam Yashoda Cha Mahabhaga Papo Yasya Hastanam Hare. So Mother Yashoda is so fortunate that she gave milk from her own body to Krishna. Can you imagine the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the possessor of all six opulences, the greatest personality is drinking milk from a lady. So as if he's a dependent infant baby. So what is the great fortune of Mother Yashoda? Right? Nemam virincho nabhavo nashrir apyanga samshraya prasadam lebhire gopi yattatrapa vimuktidat. Nemam virincho nabhavo. Virinchi means Brahma. Bhava means Shiva. Nashrir Lakshmi. Api anga samshraya. Although Shri, the consort of Krishna, is so close to him, still all these personalities are not as fortunate as Mother Yashoda. Yashoda is the greatly fortunate personality, and her rank, her position is higher than Brahma, Shiva and Lakshmi also. Then Mahaprabhu again said, oh, Uttam, this is excellent. Of course, when Mother Yashoda is glorified, Mahaprabhu has to like it. So Vatsalya Prema is excellent. But there is something little higher than this. Can you please say that? Then Ramananda says Kanta Prema. Conjugal love, Madhurya Rasa is higher. So conjugal love for Krishna is the higher. Nayam Shriyonga Unitantarate Prasada Swaryoshitam Nalina Gandharujam Ahamsyam. So like that, there are many shlokas. So he says that conjugal love for Krishna or Madhurya Rasa is the highest. So he gave all these proposals. Swadharmacharana, Mahaprabhu said, Yaho Bahya. Krishna Karmarpana, Yaho Bahya. Swadharma Tyaga, Yaho Bahya. Jnana Mishra Bhakti, Bahya. Jnana Shunya Bhakti, Yaho Hai. This is something good. Then Prema Bhakti. Yes, this is very good. Prema Bhakti in Vaidhi and Raga Margas. Then Dasya Prema. Yaho Uttam. Dasya is Yaho Hai. Sakya Prema Yahottam. Then Vatsalya Prema Yahottam. Kanta Prema is Sadhyavati. Means the highest attainable goal. Right? So what is highest attainable goal? Highest sadhya for human beings? Means the greatest attainable goal of entire humanity is to render service to Krishna, following the footsteps of the gopis of Vrindavan. Means developing such conjugal attachment towards Krishna in the mood of the gopis of Vrindavan is the highest attainable goal for all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas at least. Right? So that's what is established here. Means the glories of gopis of Vrindavan is established. Means Mahaprabhu, the very, very purpose of Krishna's incarnation as Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu is to glorify the gopis of Vrindavan, and the topmost of all gopis, Srimati Radharani. So that's the purpose of Mahaprabhu's descent. So let's continue. So now, after saying that conjugal attachment for Krishna is the topmost, and even Lakshmi also didn't get the conjugal love that was there in the gopis of Vrindavan. Then Mahaprabhu said, "Can you speak something deeper?" Then Ramananda said, "No one has asked me anything deeper than this. But still, because now that you have asked, I will say, amongst all the conjugal bhaktas, amongst all the devotees who love Krishna in Madhurya Bhav, Srimati Radharani is the highest." So first he generally glorifies the position of the gopis of Vrindavan, then he specifically glorifies Srimati Radharani. So he says about the gopis, Mayi bhaktir hi bhutanam amritatvaya kalpate dishtya yadasin mat sneho bhavatinam madapanaha. So the exalted position of the gopis is acknowledged directly by Krishna. He says that you have attained such deep affection and love for me, and you are the most exalted of all my devotees. And Krishna says, I am a debtor. I myself cannot repay your debt even in a day of Brahma. He says in the Sloka, this is somewhere at the end of Rasa Lila. Naparayeham niravadya samyujam swasadhu krityam vibudhayushapivaham yama bhajan durjaya geha shrinkhalah samrisya tadvaha pratiyatu sadhuna. He says, Na parayeham niravadya samyujam. Na parayeham means I cannot repay you. So swasadhukrutyam vibudhayushapivah. So sadhukrutyam means you have done such great good deeds, selfless deeds for me. Vibudhayushapivah. Even in one lifetime of Brahma also I cannot repay you. So generally when you accept some payment, means some debt, you borrowed some money from somebody, and you will set some tenure. Okay, I will repay this money in 1 year. Okay, for this 1 year, I will pay interest 2%, 3%, 10%, whatever. Okay, in 1 year I will pay, or I will give you an easy monthly installments. Okay, maybe 5% or 10% of the money I will pay every month. So like that, some tenure is fixed, right? Some are like big loans, so you will have to repay in 5 years. Sometimes 10 years, sometimes 14 years, sometimes 20 years. Okay, they will not give loan unless you have proper bank balance or some consistent source of income. Okay, so but any loan is given and the loan is cleared in some amount of time. But Krishna says, I am bankrupt, right? I have no income source to repay you, my dear gopis. What, the kind of prema that you have given me, whatever you have given me, even in one entire lifetime of Brahma also, I cannot repay you. So even Krishna feels bankrupt. I don't have any bank balance to repay you. You just be satisfied with your service. Okay. So he says that Yama bhajan durjara geha shrinkalaha. Geha shrinkala means the what to say, ties or the ropes of household life. Durjaya, they're extremely difficult to overcome, but you have given up all of them. So samritsya tadvaha prati yatu sadhuna. You just be satisfied with your own good activities. I cannot repay you. You have pati sutanvayad bhratru bandhava ati vilanghyate nyachyutagataha gati virastavo gita mohitaha kitavayoshitaha kastyajenishi. So pati, suta, bhratru, bandhava, you have given up everything and everybody for my sake. I cannot believe. So, and it's very difficult for a woman in the Vedic society to cross over this social regulations and Vedic customs and family ties. But the gopis in those days, they have done it. So you are very, and they are not even Kshatriya ladies. Rukmini can boldly write a letter to Krishna. Krishna, come and kidnap me. She's a Kshatriya lady. But they are all simple gopis in a cowherd community. They have given up everything and then they have come to surrender to Krishna. Krishna says, I am bankrupt. I just cannot repay you. Now, even in one lifetime of Brahma, I cannot repay you. So that's the glory of gopis. And in Krishna's sweetness increases in the company of gopis. Yadyapi Krishna Saundarya Madhurya Radharya Vrajadevira Sange Tarabadaye Madhurya. Although Krishna's Saundarya, Krishna's beauty is Madhurya Radhurya, it's the limit of sweetness. But Vrajadevira Sange, in the association of all the Vrajagopis, Tarabadaye Madhurya, Krishna's sweetness increases. Okay, it's already unlimited, but it increases because of the influence of the gopis of Vrindavan. And amongst all the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the topmost. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnoh Tasyaha Kundam Priyam Tatha Sarva Gopishu Saivaika Vishnor Atyanta Vallabha. So you can see in the slide that Yatha Radha Priya Vishnoh. So just like Srimati Radharani is so dear to Krishna, here Vishnu refers to Krishna only, Tasyaha Kundam Priyam Tatha. Radha Kund also is very dear to Krishna. Anything related to Radharani is so dear to Krishna. Okay. And with Vishnu Atyanta Vallabha, she is most dear to Krishna. And her mention comes in the Rasa Panchadhyay by Sukadeva Goswami. Anayaradhito nunam Bhagavan Haririshwaraha Yanno Vihaya Govindaha Prito Yam Anayadraha. Anayaradhito nunam. No one has worshipped Krishna to the degree Srimati Radharani has worshipped Krishna. That's why Krishna has given up the company of all gopis to give special attention, special company to this particular gopi, Srimati Radharani. So next, after all this, Mahaprabhu was completely satisfied. Oh, Ramananda, you have satisfied me completely. So please speak more. He asked the second question. Can you please explain Krishnera Swarupa, Radhara Swarupa, Rasa Tattva, Prima Tattva Rupa? Basically, he asked about the characteristics of Radha and Krishna and Rasa, then and Prima. So Ramananda humbly said, Hridaye prerana kara jihvaya kahavani ki kahiye bhalamanda kichu ina jani. My dear Mahaprabhu, Hridaye prerana kara, you are only inspiring me from within my heart. Jihva kahavani, whatever word is coming out of my mouth, my jihva, my tongue, is inspired by you. Jihva kahavani. And ki kahiye bhalamanda kichu ina jani. Whether I'm speaking properly or not, I don't know. I'm not sure whether I'm speaking properly or not. Then Mahaprabhu says, because I'm a sannyasi, you are giving me respect. You are praising me thinking that I'm a sannyasi. But you should not cheat me like this. You are Rasa Veta. You know everything about Rasa. So you can be Guru. You are qualified as Guru. He says, Kiba Vipra Kibanyasi Shudra Kenanae Sei Krishna Tattva Veta Sei Guru Hai. Kiba Vipra Kibanyasi, who is a Brahmana and who is a sannyasi and who is a Shudra. Ye Krishna Tattva Veta Sei Guru Hai. Whoever knows Krishna Tattva, whoever knows the science of Krishna and the qualities of Krishna, he is a bona fide Vaishnava Guru. All others are not. So, knowledge of Krishna and Krishna consciousness does not depend on one's Varna. Okay, Brahmanas may have a better opportunity to learn this knowledge, but that does not mean Shudras cannot know. So devotion is the most important quality, not any external formalities or qualifications. That's why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made Ramananda the speaker of Tattva, although he is a Shudra. He made Haridas Thakur Namacharya, although he was born as a Yavana. He made Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami great authors of Vaishnava literature, although they were almost converted as Yavanas, Muslims. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself sat and heard from them, right? So he is a sannyasi, he is a Brahmana. He's sitting in the class of Ramananda and he's hearing from them. So like that, Mahaprabhu completely destroys the pride of sannyasis or Brahmanas by manifesting devotional service through even externally low-born people, right? So next, continuing the discussion, Ramananda said, Raya kahe aminata tumi sutradhar, yehi mata nachao taiche chahi nachibar. Mahaprabhu, Ramananda said, Aminata, I am just an actor. I am just a puppet. Tumi sutradhar, you are pulling the strings. Yehi mata nachao taiche chahi nachibar. So the way you make me dance, I will dance. So now very important thing, you can see the shloka here in the slide. Yehi mata nachao taiche chahi nachibar. Here, although he considered himself as a nata, and Mahaprabhu is the string puller, wire puller, and he is an actor. So, the way you make me dance, taiche nachiba, I will dance like that. But here the word chahi is very important. Chahi means I desire. I desire to dance like you. A puppet has no free will. Okay, the puppeteer is just pulling the strings and the puppet is just dancing. There is no chahi word. Chahi word is not relevant in a puppet's case. Okay, because puppet has no life, no free will, but a human being has free will. A living being has free will. So Ramananda says that chahi nachibar, I desire to dance according to your will. Means I surrender my free will, I surrender my independence to you, to your desires. I use my independence, I use my free will to render service to you. Chahi nachibar. So it's ultimately the will or the free will or the desire of a devotee to act according to Krishna's will. Krishna doesn't force us. Krishna doesn't forcefully accept love from us. Krishna doesn't hypnotize us. Even ordinary hypnotizers also may change our minds and make us do what they want us to do. But Mahaprabhu is not like that. Krishna is not like that, basically. So coming to the next sloka. Mora jihva veena yantra tumi veena dhari, tomara mani ye uthe tahai uchari. Mora jihva veena yantra. My jihva, my tongue is like a veena. And to be veena dhari, you are the player of the veena. And whatever your mind says, I am just playing like that. I am a yantra only. Then, having said this, Ramananda describes Krishna Tattva and Radha Tattva. They are like very elaborate qualities of Krishna are mentioned. You can go through Caitanya-caritamrita. You want a quick summary of all the qualities of Krishna, you can go through Subodhini also. So then he speaks about Radha Tattva. So Krishna has unlimited potencies and they are divided into three parts. We already discussed this, Sat Chit Ananda. But we need to understand the identity of Radharani. You can see this chart in the slide. So Krishna has Ananta Shakti, unlimited energies. Of these unlimited energies, they are categorized into three. Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti, Tatastha Shakti. We know this. And Chit Shakti, which is Antaranga Shakti, that has three parts. Sat Chit Ananda. They are also called Sandhini Samvit Hladani. We discussed all this in the previous classes. And this Ananda, the most confidential or the essential portion of that Ananda is Prima. Means love. We derive Ananda through love. And the essence of Prema is Mahabhava. Actually, it is Bhava. And essence of Bhava is Mahabhava. And the personification of that Mahabhava is Srimati Radharani. So that's the identity of Srimati Radharani. She is the personification of Krishna's innermost portion of Krishna's confidential spiritual energy. She is the personification of Mahabhava. So then he further says, the glories of Radharani. Tayorapya bhayor madhye radhika sarvatadhika mahabhava swarupeyam gunair ativariyasi. So Srimati Radharani is the chief gopi. Sarvata adhika, she is the best of all the gopis. And there are several other qualities of Radharani mentioned there. She embodies Radhini potency. Her ecstasy is the essence of spiritual life, and she is the source of ecstasy of all devotees of Krishna. So, and Ramananda also describes the glories of Radharani, describing her bodily features and ornaments, and all that, and how she is the source of even Lakshmi Gana, Gopi Gana, and Mahishi Gana, all the gopis of Vrindavan, and all the goddesses of fortune in Vaikuntha, and all the queens of Krishna in Dwaraka, all of them emanate from Srimati Radharani. Even Satyabhama, the gopis, and Lakshmi, Arundhati, they all desire her position and her qualities. They learn chastity from Srimati Radharani. So, after saying this, our Ramananda continues. So the Lord now inquires about sadhana. Actually, these meetings are happening every night. So on one night there is some discussion, and another night there is other discussion in the form of question and answers. So he speaks about sadhana. You spoke a lot about sadhya. Now can you speak about sadhana? Then Ramananda humbly says, Raya kahe ye kaha usse kahi vani ki kahi ye bhala manda kichu na jani. Same thing he says. Whatever you make me speak, I am speaking that. So whether I am speaking properly or not, I don't know. Tribhuvana madhye aiche kona ache haya kona dhira ye tomara maya nate hai ke ba sthira. And he also says that, my dear Lord, who in the entire three worlds has the capacity to withstand when you are influencing his mind? You are influencing my mind to speak what I am speaking now. So who can be sober and who can just keep quiet? Yeah, your spiritual potency is making me talk all these things. Credit goes to you, not me. Okay. So now he describes the sadhana there. So he says, Radhara Swarupa Krishna Prema Kalpalata Sakhi Gana Haya Tara Pallava Pushpapata Krishna Lilamrita Yadi Lata Ke Sanchiya Nija Sukha Haite Palla Vadyara Koti Sukha Hai. So you see this, Radhara Swarupa Krishna Prema Kalpalata. I'll summarize this in simple words. Srimati Radharani is the creeper of devotion for Krishna. And all the pastimes of Krishna are water sprinkled on this creeper. Okay. And all the gopis of Vrindavan, they are like the flowers and leaves and twigs of this lata, of this bhakti lata called Radharani. So when the water is sprinkled on the creeper, all the leaves and twigs become happy. Okay. Similarly, when the gopis of Vrindavan see Radha and Krishna doing their pastimes nicely, then they feel happy. They feel 10 million times more happiness in assisting Srimati Radharani in her service to Krishna than when they directly serve Krishna. That is their selfless mood. And Srimati Radharani makes special endeavors to bring all the gopis towards Krishna and making them render direct service to Krishna. That is her mood. So that does not mean they are wanting to escape service. Sometimes we may say, you do service. I'm encouraging you do service. You do service. I'll take a low profile. That may be to avoid service sometimes in the case of struggling sadhakas. But Radharani is unlimitedly enthusiastic to render seva to Krishna. The gopis also have similar enthusiasm. But they want to assist each other in serving Krishna. And they want to give opportunities of direct service to Krishna to each other. And seeing their intimate loving exchanges, loving feelings, Krishna becomes so impressed. He becomes so happy. So this is the mood of Vaikuntha. This is the mood of Vrindavan, Goloka Vrindavan, where devotees encourage each other in serving Krishna, assist each other in serving Krishna. Same thing we see in the case of Vaikuntha. In Vaikuntha, not only human beings, even birds and flowers also have this mood. Mandara kunda kurabotpala champakarna punnaganaga bakulam bujapari Gandherchite tulasika bharanena tasya yismim stapah sumanaso bahumanayanti. Means there are so many beautiful flowers and plants, and the flowers have different shapes and different sizes and different colors and different fragrances, very sweet, but all of them take a low profile and encourage Tulasi Maharani to go forward and serve Krishna. Gandherchite tulasika bharanena tasya yasmim stapah sumanaso bahumanayanti. Similarly, all the birds of Vaikuntha, Paravatanya Bhritasara Sachakravaka Datyuha Hamsa Sukatitirivarhinam Yaha Kola Halo Viramate Chiramatra Mucher Bhrangadhipe Harikatham Ivagayamane. So even all the beautiful sweet singing birds that have beautiful shapes and colorful feathers and nice voices, they all take a low profile. Chiramatra Mucher. When Bhrangadhipe, when this bumblebee comes to glorify Krishna, making a sound like this. So this bumblebee is attempting to glorify Krishna, and bumblebee gets all encouragement from all the other residents of all the other birds of Vaikuntha. So in Vaikuntha and in Goloka, devotees render service to Krishna or Vishnu with so much of enthusiasm, and they also encourage other devotees and assist other devotees rather than competing with them in an unhealthy manner. Sometimes there is competition also, but that is only to inspire each other and not to take revenge on each other. There is no hatred or envy. The competition is only to inspire devotees to come closer to Krishna. So now Krishna becomes very happy. Anyonye vishuddha preme karera sapushta tasabara prema dekhi Krishna hayatushta. Anyonya vishuddha prema, seeing this mutual pure love that the gopis had amongst themselves, Krishna becomes so happy. Tasabara prema dekhi Krishna hayatushta, he becomes satisfied. So that's the difference between material lust and spiritual love. So gopis selflessly desire to satisfy Krishna always. So now to attain that mood of those gopis, the sadhana is to follow in their footsteps. That is Raganuga Marga. Nayam sukhapo bhagavan dehinam gopika sutah jnaninam chatma bhutanam yatha bhakti matam iha. Means Krishna is not attainable by jnanis and atma bhutas, but he is very easily attainable by bhakti matas, those who have bhakti. Gopi anugatya vina aishwarya, gopi anugatya vina aishwarya gnane, bhajileha nahi paya vrajendra nandane. One who serves the Lord following the footsteps of gopis without any aishwarya gnana, they can attain vrajendra nanda. Okay. Toma vina anya nahi Jiva uddharite toma vina anya nahi Krishna prema dite. Now Ramananda, after having described about this Raganuga Bhakti, he makes an appeal to Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. My dear Lord, you are asking me about sadhana. How can we attain this goal of Krishna prema in the mood of gopis? Raganuga Marga, that's fine. Okay, that's the answer. But I am giving another answer. Only by your mercy we will get. Okay. So the mercy of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu enables us to attain Krishna Prema in the mood of the gopis of Vrindavan. He says, Toma vina anya nahi jiva uddharite. There is no one other than you who can do uddhar of all jivas, who can deliver all the jivas. Toma vina anya nahi Krishna Prema dite. There is no one else who can give Krishna Prema also. Yaiche sanchi sunilum taiche dekhilum tomara mahima Radha Krishna Prema rasa gnanera tumi sima. So Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu appreciates Ramananda. I am able to see you and I am able to hear from you directly. Now I could understand your Mahima, your greatness. Radha Krishna Prima Rasagnane Tumisima. So you are the limit of understanding of Radha Krishna Prima. Right? You are the greatest personality. This is the last sloka I just said. Taiche Radha Krishna Prema Rasa Tumi Prema Rasa Gnanera Tumisima. Then Mahaprabhu asks several questions. What is the highest education? Ramananda says devotional service. What is the greatest reputation? To be reputed as devotee of Krishna is the greatest fame. Who is the greatest capitalist? Who is rich in love for Radha and Krishna? What's the greatest pain? Separation from devotee. Who is the liberated person? One who has Krishna Prima. And what is the greatest song? All the songs describing Radha Krishna's love, loving affairs. What is the most auspicious activity? Associating with devotees. What is the object of remembrance? Krishna's name, qualities, pastimes, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila. So you can go through other things in Caitanya-caritamrita. So next. Finally, this one we need to discuss. What is the greatest worshipable object? The holy name of Radha and Krishna. So Mahaprabhu asked so many other questions. So now Ramananda compares Gnana and Prema. Arasagna kakachushe Gnana nimba fale Rasagna kokila khaya premamrita mukule. So Arasagna means one who is not aware of rasas. What does he do? Gnana nimba fale. Nimba fale is the fruits of neem tree. Okay. So a fruit of neem tree and a grape, sweet grape, they may look similar, right? But there is a difference in the taste. So arasagna kaka chushe gnana nimba fale means the kaka means this crow. Crows may eat this bitter neem fruits, but rasagna kokila means koyal, cuckoo, bird that is aware of rasa will eat premamrita mukule. That bird will eat the sweet fruits of Krishna Prima, right? So like that he says that Gnana is inferior to Prema. Similarly, Gnanis are inferior to Bhaktas. They are abhagiya. They are like unfortunate people, unlucky people. So now Ramananda inquires about Lord Chaitanya's identity finally. Krishna Tattva, Radha Tattva, Prema Tattva Sar, Rasa Tattva, Lila Tattva, Vividha Prakar. So Mahaprabhu and Ramananda conversed about all these things, Krishna Tattva, Radha Tattva, Prema Tattva and all these things. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then Ramananda says, my dear Lord, I am able to see Krishna now. So far I am seeing you as a sannyasi. Now I am able to see Shyamsundar Krishna. So Hari Krishna. Then Mahaprabhu very expertly said, Sthavara Jangama dekhe na dekhe tara murti sarvatra haya nija ishta deva spurti. So when a devotee sees movable and immovable objects, he doesn't see them. He actually sees his dearest object of love, Krishna. Then Ramananda requested him, my dear Lord, please don't conceal your form. I know you are Radha, Radhikara, Bhava, Kanti, Kari, Angikar, Nija Rasa Aswadite, Kari, Acha, Avatar, Nija Gudha, Karya Tomara, Prema Aswadan, Anushangya, Prema Maya, Kaile Tribhuvan. So, my dear Lord, I can understand that you are Krishna. Radhikara, Bhava, Kanti, Kari, Angikar. We have accepted her Bhava, emotions, Kanti, bodily complexion. And you are just relishing the sweetness of your own personality. So don't cheat me. I know who you are. Then he reveals this darshan, Radha Krishna darshan. You see this beautiful picture. So he reveals that he is none other than Radha and Krishna together. Then Kaviraj Goswami describes the glories of the conversation between Mahaprabhu and Ramananda. So we can go through the Falashrutis. I'll conclude the chapter here and we'll go to the next chapter. So in the 9th chapter, Mahaprabhu continues his South India tour. And before leaving Vidyanagar, Mahaprabhu also tells our Ramananda that give up your government job come to Jagannath Puri. We both will associate together, and then we will discuss about Radha Krishna constantly. So Ramananda follows this. So that completes the 8th chapter. Now we are entering the 9th chapter. Nanamata graha grastan dakshinatya janadvipan kriparina vimuchaitan gauras chakre savaishnavan. So when Mahaprabhu was touring South India, he saw so many people. Nana mata graha grastan dakshinatya janadvipan. The people of South India are like big elephants, but they were caught by crocodiles of different matas, different philosophies and ideologies. So Mahaprabhu comes as Lord Vishnu, who delivers all the elephants caught by crocodiles. Okay, that's his role now. Okay, he will deliver them from the clutches of apasiddhantas. So Mahaprabhu goes to different places, and wherever he goes, he would come to some Brahmana's house, and he stays there for a while, accepts prasad there, and then continues his tour. So let's move ahead. So Mahaprabhu also came to Sri Shailam. These are not exactly described chronologically, these places. Okay. So Mahaprabhu met Shiva and Parvati at Sri Shailam, and Mahaprabhu went to Venkata Bhatta in Sri Rangam, and he had a very nice conversation. So okay, I think we'll have to discuss this conversation slightly because it's a very important conversation. So when Mahaprabhu went to South India, he went to Sri Rangam, Ranganath Swami temple. So there is one, in Sri Rangam, there is one great devotee called Venkata Bhatta. So this Venkata Bhatta gave hospitality to Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu and then treated him like a very dear friend. And Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu is very pleased to stay with him for 4 full months as a guest, because during monsoon one cannot travel. So that's why Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu decided to stay there only. So then this Venkata Bhatta is a worshipper of Vishnu. So Venkata Bhatta worships Lakshmi Narayana. Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu describes the glory of Krishna and Radharani, and he asks him why Lakshmi cannot enter the Rasa Lila. All that he describes. I think we'll come to that. But before that, there is another incident. One Brahmana, South Indian Brahmana at Sri Rangam temple, he was reading Bhagavad Gita in great ecstasy. So Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, my dear Brahmana, you are reading Bhagavad Gita and you are having tears in your eyes. What Sloka is giving you? What aspect of Bhagavad Gita, what topic of Bhagavad Gita is giving you so much of ecstasy that you are shedding tears? Then this Brahmana said, I'm an illiterate Brahmana. You are seeing that people are mocking me also, that I am unable to read Bhagavad Gita properly. But my Guru instructed me to read. That's why I'm reading. Although I'm not sure whether I'm reading properly or not, but still I'm reading because my Guru told me to read. And Mahaprabhu asked him, then why are you crying? What's giving you so much of ecstasy? Then he says, wherever I'm seeing in this Bhagavad Gita, whichever place I'm going, I'm only seeing Krishna driving the chariot of his dear devotee Arjuna. So remembering Krishna, remembering that Bhakta Vatsalya, the affectionate nature of Krishna, I'm shedding tears. So Mahaprabhu understood that this person is reading Bhagavad Gita under the instruction of Guru, and he has so much love for Krishna. Mahaprabhu said, my dear Brahmana, whatever you understood from Bhagavad Gita is the purport of Bhagavad Gita. It's the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Means you understood the essence of Bhagavad Gita, no one else. Because one may become a scholar in Bhagavad Gita. One may have a lot of knowledge in Bhagavad Gita. One may read all the 700 shlokas and quote them left, right, center, and then from front to back and back to front. But ultimately, one's understanding of this philosophy should boil down to surrender to Guru and love for Krishna. These two are already being demonstrated by this South Indian Brahmana at Sri Rangam temple. Mahaprabhu showed him his Krishna form. I am Krishna. So the speaker of Bhagavad Gita says that this illiterate Brahmana who is unable to read Bhagavad Gita properly has actually understood Bhagavad Gita. What could be a greater acknowledgement than this? So Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu revealed his Krishna form to this illiterate Brahmana, and he told him, keep it very confidential. Okay. So Prabhupada says that success in spiritual life is not being an erudite scholar, but to have faith in Guru and Krishna. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru. So to the degree we have faith in Guru and Krishna, to that degree we are following the spiritual life properly, right? And this Brahmana has demonstrated that faith. So now actually Mahaprabhu had many other incidents in this South India Yatra. So once he met one Brahmana at Siddhavata. He is a great devotee of Lord Ramachandra. Okay. So then Mahaprabhu saw him, and then he was constantly chanting Ram. And Mahaprabhu visited a few places, and he again came to Siddhavata. Okay, he goes to Siddhavata, and then he visits some other places like Skanda Kshetra, Trimatha, and then again he comes to Siddhavata, and again he sees the Brahmana. Now this Brahmana started chanting Krishna mantra. He gave up Ram Nam, he chanted Krishna Nam. Then Mahaprabhu asked him, why are you chanting Krishna Nam now? Earlier he was chanting Ram Nam. Then this Brahmana said, my dear Mahaprabhu, from my childhood I have been collecting the glories of holy name from scriptures. Ramante yogi no nante satyanande chidatmani iti rama padenasu param brahma bhidiyati. So I understood that the supreme absolute truth is called Rama because great yogis take pleasure in chanting his holy names. So I could understand the holy potency of Krishna, Ram's name, but I also understood the potency of Krishna's name. So Krish is very attractive feature of the Lord's existence. Na means the spiritual pleasure. So Krish and Na brought together gives the topmost pleasure to the devotees of Krishna. So I also heard from Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra that Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Vistulyam Ramanama Varanani. So one Ramanam is equivalent to 1,000 names of Vishnu. If you chant Rama, it's equivalent to chanting 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu. Similarly, then Brahmanda Purana says, by chanting one name of Krishna, it's equivalent to chanting 3,000 names of Lord Vishnu. So this is the Krishna Nama Mahima as revealed by the various Shastras. So now I was chanting Ram Nam earlier, but by your appearance, after taking your darshan, oh Mahaprabhu, I am able to chant Krishna's name now. Thank you so much for awakening love for Krishna in my heart. So that's another incident that happened at Siddhavata. And Mahaprabhu continued his journey, and he came to another place near Vridhachalam. So then Mahaprabhu used to defeat all kinds of philosophers. There are some people called Tarkikas. They are logicians who are following Kanada and Gautama. They are Mimamsakas. They are followers of Jaimini. There are Mayavadis following Shankaracharya. There are Sankhyaites. They are following Kapila. And there are Patanjalis. Patanjalas. They are following the yoga system taught by Patanjali. And there are people who are following Smriti scriptures. So like that, Mahaprabhu defeated so many philosophers like this, and he established the process of Bhakti Yoga. Okay. And then Mahaprabhu once defeated a Buddhists also. One scholarly Buddhist leader came there to establish their 9 philosophical conclusions. And considering that these people are even unfit for discussion, Mahaprabhu spoke to them just to defeat their false pride, and the Buddhists were defeated. But the main Buddhist person, he was not satisfied. So, they all plotted against Lord Caitanya, and they brought a big plate of untouchable food before Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And he said that it is Mahaprasad. Okay. Then a large bird came on the spot and picked up the plate in its beak and then dropped that plate on the head of this Buddhist teacher and then went away. Then all the disciples ran to revive this their teacher, their guru, and then they're unable to revive. And all these disciples ran to Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu and then said, "My dear Mahaprabhu, please forgive us. Please excuse our offenses. We brought this abominable food and brought it in front of you. We are very sorry." Then the Lord told them, "Chant the holy names of Krishna, okay, in the ears of your guru." So in the ears of your guru, if you chant the holy name of Krishna, then he will be revived. So I didn't put this picture in the PPT. It's a very nice picture also. Painting also is there. So then Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu told them to chant the holy names of Krishna in the ears of this guru. So they went and said Krishna, Rama, Hari. And the Buddhist scholar, teacher, he just got up. So it's like a disciple initiating his guru in Krishna mantra. Okay, that's what is happening now. So this is Diksha. So Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu initiated the disciples in Krishna's names, and the disciples initiated their Buddhist guru in Krishna's name. And all of them just got up and then said sorry to Mahaprabhu and then they left. Then Mahaprabhu comes to Sri Kshetra. Then the South India Brahmana incident happens. So then we'll discuss the conversation between Mahaprabhu and Venkata Bhatta here. So Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu once asked Venkata Bhatta, "My dear Venkata Bhatta, your worshipable Lakshmi always remains on the chest of Narayana. And why she cannot associate with Krishna? Why? Now, first he asks. First, he asks that why does she want to associate with Krishna in the first place, right? So Krishna is a Gopa tending cows, and this Lakshmi is very opulent, and she's in the abode of Narayana, on the chest of Narayana. Why does she want to associate with Krishna? Then this Venkata Bhatta says that, "My dear Lord, why are you asking this question? What is wrong in Lakshmi's desiring to associate with Narayana, with Krishna? Krishna and Narayana both are same according to Siddhanta. But somehow the pastimes of Krishna is more playful and relishable and attractive because of their sportive nature. And Narayana is a little more formal. But they both are same. Why are you joking like this?" So when Lakshmi is desiring to associate with Krishna, there is no compromise in her chastity. Then Lord Chaitanya said, "Yes, of course. I don't mean that. I know that there is no fault, but still Lakshmi wanted to associate with Krishna, but she could not enter rasa dance. Why is it so?" So then Venkata Bhatta could not answer. Actually, I don't know how to answer this. I cannot enter into these deep mysteries, my dear Lord. So please forgive me. If you want, you can only explain why Lakshmi could not enter the rasa dance. So then he also says, "Ami jiva kshudra buddhi sahaje asthira ishwarera lila koti samudra gambhira tumi sakshat se Krishna jana nija karma yare jana hasi jane tumara lila marma." He says, "Ami jiva kshudra buddhi sahaja asthira." I am an ordinary living entity. My intelligence is not very steady. And Ishwarera Lila Koti Samudra Gambhira. The pastimes of the Supreme Lord are as grave as millions of oceans. So I cannot understand this. And you are directly Krishna. So you only tell. You only explain why Lakshmi could not enter the Rasa Lila. So Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu very expertly said, "Prabhu kahe Krishnera eka svabhava vilakshan swamadhurye sarvachitta kare akarshan." So Lord Krishna has a very peculiar characteristic, special characteristic. What is that? Swamadhurye sarvachitta kare akarshan. by his own sweetness, he takes the attention of everybody. He attracts everybody. Okay. Vrajalokera bhave paye tahara charana tare ishvara karina he jane vrajajana. So by following the Vrajavasis, one can attain Krishna's lotus feet. Only Vrajavasis know Krishna. They don't know anyone other than Krishna. Kehatare putra gnane udukale bandhi keha sakha jane gnane jani chade tare khande. So Mahaprabhu says that some Vrajavasi accepts Krishna as her son and just binds him with rope. And some other Vrajavasi accepts Krishna as his friend and mounts on his shoulders. So in this way, Vrajavasis do not consider Krishna as God. They don't have Aishwarya Gnana. They have this deep love for Krishna. Vrajendra Nandana Balittare Jane Vrajajana Aishwarya Gnane Nahi Kona Sambandhan Manana. So the Vrajavasis know Krishna as the son of Nanda Maharaj, and they consider that they have no relationship with him in the rasa of opulence. So there is no Aishwarya Gnana. So Vrajalokera Bhavaye Karaye Bhajana Sejana Paya Vraje Vrajendra Nandana. One who worships Krishna by following Vrajavasis will definitely attain him. Now, Mahaprabhu says that by following the footsteps of Vraja Gopis, even Shrutis, means personified Vedas, personified scriptures, could also enter Rasalila as Shrutichari Gopis. There is a special Gopi Jati called Shrutichari Gopis. So they could easily enter Rasalila. But Lakshmi could not enter Rasalila because she does not want to follow the footsteps of the Gopis. Right? So she did not worship Krishna following the footsteps of Gopis. That's why she could not enter Rasalila. So then Venkata Bhatta understood the reasons. But and also Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu establishes the supremacy of Lord Krishna. Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. Ekejam sakalapam saha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indra Rivyakulam Lokam Vridajanti Yuge Yuge. He says Krishna is Supreme Bhagavan and he has 4 extraordinary qualities which are not present in Narayana. What are they? Number 1, his playful pastimes. Number 2, he associates with gopis. Number 3, he plays flute. Number 4, his extraordinary beauty. So these 4 are special to Krishna and they are not present in Narayana. So because of Krishna's special qualities, Krishna attracts the mind of Lakshmi also. But Narayana cannot attract the mind of gopis. Okay. So once the gopis see Narayana and say, oh, this is Narayana, we want Krishna. Narayana, did you see Krishna? They inquire from Narayana also like this. Okay. So Lord Caitanya, in this way, he establishes the supremacy of Krishna and the greatness of gopis and describes the reason why Lakshmi could not enter Rasalila. And then later he also pacifies Venkata Bhatta. Okay, whatever I said is just joking with you, but here the conclusion of Shastras, there is no difference between Krishna and Narayana. And there is no difference between gopis and Lakshmi. So Lakshmi enjoys association of Krishna through the gopis. Like that, he kind of encourages Venkata Bhatta. So the Lord appears in various forms to engage in various special pastimes. Okay. Agadha Ishvara Lila Kichhi na jani, tumi ye kaha se satya kari mani. Venkata Bhatta says, my dear Lord, I express my heartfelt gratitude to you. Agadha Ishvara Lila Kichhi na jani. The Supreme Lord's pastimes are very deep. I cannot understand them. But whatever you say, I accept them as correct. So Venkata Bhatta fell at the Lord's lotus feet and the Lord mercifully embraced him. And when the Chaturmasya period is completed, Mahaprabhu took permission from Venkata Bhatta and then he proceeded in his tour. So then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Rishabha Hill, then he went to Sri Shailam, and he also went to Kama Koshtipura, and then he went to Madurai. So at Madurai, Mahaprabhu met one Brahmana. He is also another great devotee of Lord Ramachandra. So then, actually, this Brahmana invited Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu for food. And he had not cooked food. The Lord asked him, why there is no food? You called me for food? And the Brahmana said, my dear Lord, we are living in forest. We cannot get all the ingredients for cooking. So when Lakshmana brings all vegetables and fruits from the forest, then Sita will do the necessary cooking. Basically, he was so absorbed in Ramayana and Ram Lila that he is thinking that he is in Vanavas and then Sita is cooking and Lakshmana will bring fruit, will bring vegetables from the forest. So Mahaprabhu was so satisfied to hear about the method of worship of this Brahmana. Then immediately he made arrangements for cooking, and then finally he fed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fed, this Brahmana fed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Brahmana did not eat. He was very sad. Mahaprabhu asked him, you fed me, now why are you not eating? What is this a new mood that you are manifesting? Then Brahmana again observed in Ramayana and he said that, better I give up my life. I will commit suicide. I will enter either fire or water. Mahaprabhu said, what happened? He said that, I am so troubled to hear that this demon Ravana touched Mother Sita. She is Mahalakshmi, she is Jagannatha, but this Ravana touched Sita Devi. I cannot continue living. How can I continue living after hearing this incident? My body is burning. I wish to die. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained, please don't think in this way. You are a great Pandit. Sita has a spiritual form. To say nothing of touching her, a person with material lust, material senses cannot even see her. When Ravana came, Sita disappeared and Ravana only kidnapped a illusory Sita, Maya Sita, right? Not the real Sita. So then he says, Aprakrita vastuna hai prakrita gochara Veda Puraniti kahe nirantara. So have faith in my words. So something which is spiritual cannot be seen by a materialistic person, cannot be touched by a materialistic person. So then Brahmana accepted food. Thank you. You saved my life by revealing the truth to me. Then Mahaprabhu continued his journey. He went to Mahendra Shaila, he went to Setu Bandhan. Again, he came back to Madurai. Because at Setu Bandhan, Mahaprabhu saw some assembly of Brahmanas. They were discussing Kurma Purana. In that Kurma Purana, there is a description about the Sita's kidnap. So the description says that amongst all the chaste women, Sita is the supreme. When Ravana came to kidnap her, she took shelter of fire god. And this is the picture. This one. So she took shelter of fire god, and fire god hid Sita Devi and kept a Maya Sita there. And when Ram killed Ravana, at that time fire god again returned Sita Devi, original Sita, to Ramachandra. So this is how Kurma Purana says. And Lord Chaitanya Prabhu immediately took that Kurma Purana pages, and then again he came to Madurai and showed this Kurma Purana manuscript to this Ramdas Vipra. And Ramdas Vipra became so happy, and he was very touched with Mahaprabhu's gesture of coming back in his tour and showing him this references. So he was very pleased and fell at the lotus feet of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. You delivered me from an unhappy condition. So please come to my house again, I will feed you prasad. Then Mahaprabhu came to his house. Then Mahaprabhu continued his journey, and then he came to Vetapani, a place called Vetapani. So I'll show the picture. So at this place only, this Krishnadas, Kala Krishnadas was attracted by Bhattatharis. So Bhattatharis are a community of some peculiar, some kind of sannyasis, right? They employ women to attract the attention of this Kala Krishnadas, and Kala Krishnadas got attracted, and then he went to this Bhattatharis place early in the morning. So Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu quickly went there, and then he took the shikha of Kala Krishnadas and then dragged him. And meanwhile, all these Bhattatharis came with their weapons, and they wanted to attack Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu asked them, You are a sannyasi. You are sannyasis. I am also sannyasi. Why are you taking my assistant? Right? He is my assistant. Then they came to attack Mahaprabhu with weapons. While Mahaprabhu's mystic power, their weapons attacked them only. And Mahaprabhu just pulled the shikha of this Kala Krishnadas and took him back. So now, Prabhupada makes very brilliant statements in his purports in a later chapter. Unless one is determined, even the Supreme Personality of Godhead also cannot save him. So here Mahaprabhu is coming and save him, definitely. But there is a possibility of getting distracted even in the presence of the Supreme Lord. One has to be extremely careful. Okay, that's the lesson that Lord Caitanya Prabhupada gives. Then Mahaprabhu continues his tour, and he also finds Brahma Samhita, one copy, at Payaswini River, at the temple of Adikeshav temple. Then Mahaprabhu also goes to Udupi, and then he defeats Tattvavadis there. And there's a most dancing, most beautiful deity of Udupi Krishna there. Mahaprabhu sees the Udupi Krishna Darshan. Show that. And he takes darshan of Udupi Krishna, and then he defeats the people there. And also, Mahaprabhu liberates 7 palm trees in Dandakaranya. This is another nice incident that happened. So, let's continue. So, Mahaprabhu tells these Tattvavadis at Udupi that there are 9 items in Bhakti, Sravana, Kirtana, and all that. So, these are the main items in Bhakti. But the Tattvavadi Acharya says that when activities of Varnashram are dedicated to Krishna, one becomes eligible for 5 kinds of liberation. This is the highest goal of human life. But Mahaprabhu says, no. Bhakti is the highest. You are unnecessarily, you are like too much into fruitive activity and karmakandic activities. So that's why Mahaprabhu did not appreciate their involvement in karmakandic activities. So Mahaprabhu and pure devotee, he also says that pure devotees even reject 5 kinds of liberation. Salokya, Sarishti, Samikya, Aikatvam, Apyuta, Diyavanam na Grihananti Vinamat Sevanam Janaha. So he also gives the example of Bharat Maharaj. There are so many such incidents. Mahaprabhu also goes to Pandaripur and he takes the darshan of Pandarinath, and there he meets Sri Rangapuri. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offers obeisances to Sri Rangapuri. Sri Rangapuri is a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, and Sri Rangapuri shares his memories of visiting to Navadvipa. So he said that, my dear Mahaprabhu, I went to Navadvip. I met Sachi Mata. She fed me so lovingly like a mother. He narrates all these incidents. And Mahaprabhu said, Mahaprabhu offered obeisances, and Sri Rangapuri started for Dwaraka, and Mahaprabhu stayed at Pandaripur for a few more days. And then he also found Krishna Karnamrita, another nice scripture at Krishna Vendva River. So he found this scripture called Krishna Karnamrita, written by Bilomangal Thakur. Then he went to several other places like Dandakaranya, Rishyamukha, and all these places. And then finally he returned to his yatra. He concluded his yatra. He came via Vidyanagar to Jagannath Puri. And at Vidyanagar again he met Ramananda. Again he discussed with Ramananda for some time. And Ramananda said, my dear Mahaprabhu, you told me to come to Jagannath Puri. I have made all arrangements. Very soon I am going to come to Jagannath Puri. And also the king gave me permission. He relieved me from my government service. And Mahaprabhu showed these 2 books, Krishna Karnamrita and Brahma Samhita. These 2 books he showed to Ramananda. So then they did Krishna Katha for a while, and Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu reached Jagannath Puri. And as soon as he came to Alalnath, he sends Kala Krishnadas, you go, and then call Nityananda Prabhu and all my personal associates. And Nityananda, Jagadananda, Damodara, Mukunda, Gopinath Acharya, all of them came to receive Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And they were overwhelmed with ecstatic love. And Mahaprabhu came back to Puri, and then he started narrating all the highlights of his pilgrimage in South India. and all the devotees become so happy. Ananta Chaitanya Lila kahite na jani, lobhe lajja kaya tara kari tana tani. So Ananta Chaitanya Lila kahite na jani. Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu's Leelas are Ananta, unlimited, and I cannot properly discuss them. But Laulya, I am shamelessly describing them, but because I have Laulya, I have the great greed to describe the pastimes of Lord Caitanya. Caitanya-caritamrita Shuddha Bhakta Kari, Matsarya Chadiya Mukhe, Bala Hari Hari. So, my dear devotees, please hear Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes with Shraddha and Bhakti, with faith and devotion. And Matsarya Chadiya, give up your envy of the Lord and you chant Hari Hari. So, in this way, Lord Kaviraj Goswami concludes this chapter. There are many other nice slokas at the end of this chapter. Chaitanya Chandrera Lila Agadha Gambhira Pravesha Karite Nari Sparsha Rahitira. So Mahaprabhu's pastimes are Agadha. They are as deep as an unfathomable ocean. And it's not possible to enter it. I am just touching this ocean by standing on the shore. Okay. If he is just touching this ocean only, standing on the shore, 9 volumes of Chaitanya Charitamrita has come. 11,600 some slokas are there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Kaviraj Goswami wrote these slokas when he was above 90. You can understand what is the expanse of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes and how much appreciation that Kaviraj Goswami had for these pastimes. Okay. He says, Chaitanya Charitra Shraddhaya Suni Ye Jana Yete ke vichara tata paya prema dhana. The more one hears Mahaprabhu's pastimes, Shraddhaya, with faith, and vichara, analytically studying them, contemplating on them, the more one attains ecstatic riches of Krishna Prima, Prema Dhana. So in this way, he concludes this chapter. It's 8:41 now. So I'll also conclude today's session. So, Sri Caitanya-caritamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada.